Okay, excellent, folks. I'm glad to be with you here today, and we're going to look at the consumption of price feeds inside of SAP in our development environment. So I just opened up Eclipse, and I'm in the ABAP developer tools for Eclipse, and this is much of the technical objects of our repo for the hackathon entry this year. So you can see my package there. And I've opened this program called ZPRVD Chainlink Price Feed. And you can see I have several entries available here. And I'll just break down very quickly what each of these options do. First, this is a variant. So I'll select this variant, and it inputs a few key pieces of information. One is, what kind of price pair are we interested in today? So we're interested in the Ethereum and USD price pair on Chainlink. This is in the PRVD stack. We give a unique identifier to different networks. This case, it's the Polygon Mumbai testnet that we've identified here. And by the way, we've created an entry in a table that links this ETH USD price pair to a specific smart contract. You can see that actually in a database table known as the ZPRVD price feed. But rather than get further into that, let's execute this, and we'll include those feedback mechanisms, like I said earlier. So we'll create that baseline protocol zero knowledge proof, and we'll also go through the effort to generate a file to IPFS. And come with me and we'll debug some ABAP here as well. Let's go. So quick /h to turn on the debugger and execute. Okay, so at this point, what we see here is this is already up to executing the contract on the Polygon Mumbai testnet. So if I step over this right here, and I look at my API response, here you can see I've gotten that price feed data from the Polygon Mumbai testnet. So there's our outputs, right? There's the round ID, there's our price information, there's some timestamps there as well. So now that we have this data from Polygon, let's step over next to look at what's going to follow after this, right? So we have a few more things to marshal some data around. So we parse that data, and what we're going to do is do some transformation and save that data. We save the price feed results into our own custom reporting table. But after that fact, what we'll do is we do some additional transformation to get ready to update the currency data inside of SAP. So that's some additional formatting that takes place here. Let's dive into this part. Because this is where we're really getting inside of SAP and changing the currency rates inside of SAP. This is a function module that's used typically to update fiat currency pairs like euro and Japanese yen or Canadian dollar. Here we did it for Ethereum, actually. So if we look inside this updated market rates, right, and take a look inside the data, we can see ETH USD that's ready to go there. So after we update that, now SAP has an Ethereum price, ready to use Ethereum as ultrasound money. So we selected that option to do that baseline proof, that zero knowledge proof. So we'll take a look at that as well. So if I dive into this, really we're taking some of this data and getting it ready to do this call to the PRVD price feed sync zero knowledge proof workflow. And this message here, that just fires off that ZK proof. And it can take a little bit of time, so let's hold on for just a moment while that completes. And we got a successful status. Excellent. So I'm just going to F7 over that. And we successfully did that zero knowledge proof, which is phenomenal. And now we're on to the IPFS part. So what we've done already at this point in the debugger, we've generated that file into SAP's file directory AL11. So all that this is going to do is, reopen that file, move some binaries around and, get it ready to move to IPFS. So that we've created the file and we've got the content, we're ready to transfer it to IPFS there. And this last little bit, this is, a bit of the guts into what we're actually sending, to that IPFS add endpoint. This was tricky. Like I said, this was the first time we've ever done IPFS and ABAP together. But really great that we get a good response out of IPFS here. And yeah, we have a file generated to IPFS. So at the end of this program, you don't have to debug every single time, but here we have some outputs really summarizing what we did. One, yes, we did process that data into SAP. So if I go into, let's open a quick SAP GUI session here and go to the table tcur. And let's say I want to look at the ETH price feed. And I've gotten several other entries today, but here's a result we just got from earlier. This table here, this price feeds results table. This is our current entry that we got here today as well. And yes, of course, since I mentioned it, this is where we configured that price pair ID to a smart contract to the Polygon Mumbai testnet. But let's take a look at Shuttle, because there's some really interesting things going on in Shuttle, right? To create that zero knowledge proof, we use Shuttle to model this workflow, and it's a very simple workflow overall. We defined a domain model that included the fields of the price feed information that we used, and selected general consistency, deployed this. But to review that creation of that ZK proof, here we have it in our console here. So you can see here, this ZK proof all the way here, this is the same as what we really saw as an output over here. Actually, where do I have that up? Should be right here. Yep. So we have that same ZK proof for that information, as well as that file. If I go into SAP and I look at AL11 and I kind of dig around this file directory, this is kind of like a Unix directory that's actually right here. My zoom's kind of in the way there, but if I look inside this directory under data, you can see I have all these different price feed files that I've been executing and running here lately. And if I just jump out of my remote desktop session here a minute, and I look inside of IPFS, you can see my file's been pinned there as well. So there you have it. You have a update of the foreign currency tables inside of SAP. You have a zero knowledge proof that was created and propagated to PRVD network, and you have a file that's been generated to IPFS.